All right, all right. We are back at the podcast studio in Belmont, New Jersey, and we have a very special guest on. We have Debbie from Each Stitch Counts. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
So you got connected to us through Lisa, and she said that you should be on this podcast.
Yes, I met Lisa at the Toms River Chamber, and she knows about our project, and she suggested that I get in touch with you.
You got in touch with me right away, and we got you booked, and here we are.
Here we are.
So you have a very interesting background and into your new phase, and so let's jump right into it. So you were a business administrator for a school system for 35 years?
Yes, I was responsible for making sure the teachers got paid, making sure
You had a big responsibility.
making
big
sure
project,
the
right?
students had all their resources, in charge of the building, making sure, it was clean and safe. And after 35 years, it was time to retire. And I am a lifelong knitter. I have been knitting since I was a little girl. And so I thought, well, I can spend more time knitting, and I design knitting patterns, and I have those online. And all of a sudden, though, I'm retired, and I'm knitting away, and to get out of the house, I'm going shopping. And I'm like, well, this is not going to work.
Yeah, this is not sustainable.
There's nothing left to buy. So then the pandemic came along, and I had all these dishcloths because I use them to try new stitch patterns when I'm going to design a knitting pattern. And they're made of cotton. So I went to the dollar store, picked up a few bottles of dish soap, and attached the dishcloths to it, and brought them over to the local food pantry at the Hope Center.
Hope Center's in Toms River, New Jersey.
Yes. They were so thrilled to receive them because cleaning products are not something that they normally get donated. People focus on food, which of course is very important. If they get any kind of hygiene products, they are personal hygiene products, but those they need too. And nobody was buying cleaning products. So I started doing some research and found that the people that were depending on the food pantries often went without dish soap, laundry detergent, because if they were on SNAP, the government programs, they couldn't buy anything that was non-food. So their limited resources didn't always allow them to buy cleaning products. So I realized this was bigger than me. And I'm stuck home during the pandemic, so I decided to do some graduate work in nonprofit management.
Okay.
So I finished a graduate certificate. One of the courses was grant writing. So as I'm taking that course, I had to go through all the motions of becoming incorporated and becoming a 501c3. And I was like, well, I might as well do this. So that's how Each Stitch Counts started.
I love the name.
Thank you. We think each stitch counts to make someone feel special.
That's amazing. And it's crazy to even think that, someone who usually retires, you think about the beach and you never think about doing another job in the world again. But out here you said, let me pivot and let me go to work and help people, right? Like that, to do that, I think that's amazing, right? Coming out of retirement to say, hey, I'm going to focus on how I can help people, and doing it one stitch at a time, I think is an awesome thing.
Well, I do love to knit. I knit every day. I always have. It is a form of meditation. It's a form of relaxation. Plus, you create some really great stuff in the process. And so then I realized I couldn't knit all the dishcloths that I wanted to.
Your hands would be tired.
Yeah. So I started a Facebook group, And right now we have 1,700
Wow.
people in our Facebook group all over the country. And most of them, or a lot of them, send me dishcloths every month or as often as they can.
Yep.
Some send me as many as 50 at a time.
Wow.
And they thank me for giving them a purpose to their crafting.
Wow.
So
That's a beautiful thing.
it's wonderful. I had no idea that I would be making someone else happy to
In the
make
process.
something. Yeah.
How long does one of these take to make?
Probably 2 hours.
Depends how good you are.
Wow, 2 hours.
Yeah. It's
And
not
to
a.
be able to give somebody 50 a month, right? That's a lot of work and a lot of time.
It is.
Wow.
It is. I have some great volunteers all over. And now we have local groups. There's also local knitting and crocheting groups. And they've gotten involved. They get me dishcloths.
That's awesome.
So we've just grown from there. Our funding to purchase the dish soap, we've been very fortunate to get support from corporate donors,
Mhm.
from foundations, and from personal donations. And then I have groups of students and local businesses that do what we call a dish soap drive,
Mm-hmm.
where they'll collect the dish soap. I provide the dishcloths, and oftentimes I let them choose which food pantry will be the recipient.
And now you're working with like 20 food pantries now, right?
Yes.
And how did you get into all 20 of those? Like, you have a story of grit in of itself. Like, you retire from work and now you're in 20 food pantries, 1,700 people on a Facebook page. Like, you've totally turned.
Yeah.
Well, I
Set
always
the
say
standard.
my little retirement project turned into a full-time career.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm loving every moment of it.
That's awesome. Keeps you young, too.
It does, and I've met the most incredible people,
Mhm.
whether it be at the chamber
You're part
or
of the Toms River Chamber of Commerce.
or the people at the food pantries.
Mhm.
Those volunteers at the food pantry are incredible.
Yep.
As they walk their clients through and help them shop, it's a wonderful sight to behold.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. So
How many did you make it in your first year of doing this, and then where are you at now? How many are you making now?
So the first year was 2022.
Okay.
We did 700 bottles, a little more than 700 bottles, to maybe 5 food pantries. And then the second year we did 2,000 bottles. And then in 2024 we reached 20 different food pantries. We did 3,000 bottles.
Raise
love
the
it.
roof.
I love it.
So we're hoping 2025 to do 5,000 bottles, and it just keep growing from there.
Now, there's different size bottles here. Is there anything?
So these are trial size or travel size,
Mm-hmm.
and I use these at events. We did the trunk or treat
Mm-hmm.
in Toms River, where they gave out coats.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave out 600 of those miniature bottles.
Wow.
So that's not even included
In
in
your
the
3,000
3,000 count. The 3,000 count is only full size.
And now you said corporations and organizations and schools have kind of you've partnered up to help, then they help you do a drive.
Yes.
How does that work?
There's information on our website
Mhm.
about how to hold the drive, but basically, all they have to do is make a flyer or a brochure. I've seen the students just make a one-page flyer, attach it to a bin, put a bin somewhere in the school or in each classroom,
And it just fills up.
and they just fill them up.
Wow.
Yeah. We also have a drop-off point at one of the branches of Ocean First Bank, where people have been just dropping off dish soap for us.
And Ocean First is a great community partner.
They really are.
They are our first community partner, and their wave makers, which are their employees, volunteer their time to assemble the labels and the dishcloths with the dish soap.
That's awesome.
And in addition to that, I have other groups of volunteers, both adults and students. Students need community service hours. This is a great project for them. They come, as a matter of fact, Monday I have a group of students. Monday's the day of service. And they're going to come to my little workshop and assemble probably 100 bottles of dish soap with dishcloths.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. How long does one of these dish towels last?
I would say a good year. They're
Good year.
machine washable, machine dryable. So you use them to wash the dishes, you use them to clean the counter,
Wow.
and then throw it in the wash with the towels, and throw it in the dryer, and it should come out fresh and ready to use all over again. They're 100% cotton or a cotton blend, so they last a long time.
And can people, if they want to support you, can they just buy the dish rags?
No, we do not sell
So this
them.
is all just directly to the community.
Correct.
That's amazing.
Correct. We wanted, we could have just given out the dish soap, but we wanted people to have a little something special. When you go to the food store, you might pick up a bouquet of flowers for yourself. You might pick up a magazine. Well, that's kind of like your gift for going
gift
shopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we wanted people to have something that was handmade. Somebody cared enough to make it and give it to them. And from what I understand, people really, really
I would expect,
appreciate it.
that
Yeah.
definitely seems good.
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic project. Now, does it matter what kind of soap? I see we have two different soaps here. How does that work?
Whatever, it doesn't matter what brand. I have no affiliation with any brand at all. We right now use the dollar store. That's the best place for us to.
Get the most bang for your buck.
Correct. And what's really good is our funding goes far because it's a relatively inexpensive product. So, a $1,000 donation buys 800 bottles of dish soap.
When you think
So-
about that, you say you get it at the dollar store, but you don't get $1.
Yeah.
It's a little fun.
Yeah. So, and then we also expanded to do laundry detergent.
How'd you get into that? Show it off, Marc.
Every
Got
day,
Vanna over here.
every day I spend a good hour researching opportunities. So I came across Earth Breeze program where for every one package they sell,
When you say one package, you're talking about this.
yes,
Okay.
they donate 10 packages.
That's a good corporate partner.
Excellent. So I got in touch with them and met a lovely woman that's in charge of the program. She liked what we were doing. And last year they donated 1,000 packages, which is 60,000 loads of laundry that we were able to distribute to the food pantries to distribute to their clients.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Now,
And-
every time somebody buys one, you get 10 back.
Yeah.
And now the 20 pantries, let me just ask a little more. Are they all in like Ocean County? Is it Monmouth and Ocean? Is
Ocean
it further?
and Monmouth
Okay,
both.
perfect.
And I get calls all the time from more. That's how the list went from 5 the first year. Now we're up to 20.
Wow, that's incredible.
So right now I make all the deliveries.
You need help.
I need help.
So you didn't come on to talk about help, but I'm going to help you help. So anybody that's interested in deliveries and helping, this nonprofit and, reach out because, as this continues to grow and there's going to be no reason that it doesn't continue to grow, you can't be everywhere. You can't be doing all these deliveries.
Correct.
Probably a very good driver and all, but it's a lot.
Well, the other thing is, each food pantry has different hours.
And yeah.
So I have to make a schedule, like, okay, so this one's open Monday and Thursday.
Yep.
So I can only deliver it Monday or Thursday. This one's open Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday morning. So it's constantly. I do have a few food pantries that do pick up, and that's nice. But I can't have. I live in a residential neighborhood, so I really can't have a lot of people.
You can't have big trucks coming.
No.
As you're at your workshop getting these deliveries going. So I mean, this is so cool what you're doing. I love to see this, and
Thank
I love
you.
that it came out of retirement. It came out of something that you just had a passion to knit, and you took it to the next level there.
Yeah, I think purpose is so important, and as I said, even the knitters and crocheters tell me I've given them a purpose.
And meanwhile, you're getting 50 of these in a month, and you're like loving that you have a production line.
Yes.
So now, do you even knit anymore, or are you now just a business administrator of this?
I have, even when I was a business administrator, my superintendent used to say, I spend my first hour of the day knitting so that I can get my brain focused on what needs to happen the rest of the day.
Fair.
So I start and end pretty much every day with knitting needles in my hand. I make not only dishcloths, I make hats, I make scarves, I make blankets, gloves. I'm not a sweater knitter. That's like, I'd rather just go to the store and get my sweater. But there's beautiful sweater knitters out there. And the knitting community has grown tremendously. There's an online community called Ravelry.
Okay.
That has over 10 million people worldwide that knit or crochet.
My mom used to be involved with a nonprofit in New York, We Care Blankets, and they used to give blankets to sick children in hospitals, and they would knit and crochet them. Then they would have like a meet, and they wrap blankets. A bunch of volunteers. And so I am familiar with the knitting and crocheting community.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was as large as it was, and I didn't know there was you have 1,700 people in your Facebook group, which is very impressive. But this is so great, and it's such a nice gift that nice thing that you're donating and it's very practical and usable and functioning.
And then hopefully, as we grow, the next thing I'd like to add is an all-purpose cleaner. A clean house is a healthy house.
Sure.
So an all-purpose cleaner somewhere in the future as our funding allows. But first we want to keep focused on
Hitting
dishes
5,000
and laundry.
5,000 of these.
5,000 of those this year. That's the number.
If you're watching, 5,000, let's make it happen.
Yep.
Let's
so 5,000, if you divide that by 12 months, you need like 400, a little over 400 a month.
Correct. Correct.
You got this.
You got it.
I feel like you have it.
Definitely got it.
So this is what we're going to do. Wingman's going to sign up to do a drive for collecting soap for you.
Thank you. That would be wonderful.
We have bins. We have our own marketing, so we can create something, and we'll put something on social media, and we'll either take a donation and we'll go to there's a Dollar General right in our plaza in Belmar, and we'll go there and pick it up, or people could bring in soap. Now,
that would be great.
How long should we keep the bin out there? Is it a month? Is it 3 months?
A month.
A month?
Is great.
Perfect. So we'll do it. How about this? We'll do it till let's call it March 15th, so that we'll have it out there, so that people can donate to us and get it out there.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
You got it.
I really appreciate this. Getting the word out will only help us grow. And eventually, I'd really like to see this grow into something. One thing I didn't mention is
you're still on camera. Don't worry.
Some of my volunteers have taken up this and done it in their own communities. And I have on the website, you'll see a form that says community donations. So I asked them to not only post in our Facebook group, but fill out the donation form so I can see what's going on around the country. And yeah, they did a nice job in their own communities.
That's great.
There's
so cool.
labels on the website if you want to do it in your own community. So yeah.
The good thing is you're in our community, so we'll just collect for you and we'll get it to you.
That would
and
be
we'll
great.
Coordinate, and I think I just love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
If somebody, whether they're retired, maybe they're young, it doesn't matter what is your advice to making your passion a reality?
Good question.
Oh, that's a great question. Keep at it a little bit every day, and then when you need to, back away so that you can get a better look. You know, there's been moments when I said, this was supposed to just be a little retirement project. What am I doing? And so take a week, go to the beach, go to the boardwalk, do whatever you like to do, and it won't leave you alone if it's really a passion. It will haunt you. And before you know it, you come back with a fresh outlook.
Knee deep.
And you start all over again.
So the grit doesn't quit. I love it.
If you could go back 3 years, 4 years, would you do it again?
Yes, absolutely. It's been a wonderful experience so far. I've met wonderful people. I wake up enthused and wondering where the next road is going to lead me, like it led me here to you. It's led me to understand food pantries. It led me, believe it or not, to Joint Base McGuire. Do you know there's a food pantry on the base?
I do, because of my foundation. I know that because we've donated food there a few times.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
I know. It's sad that there's food insecurity at the base.
It's everywhere.
Yes.
It's really everywhere. So, yes, I would do this all over again in a minute. And I hope I can find others that want to join and help.
This is great. So in addition to Wingman doing a drive to collect soap, I'm also going to connect you with the Wingman Foundation's executive director, who also happens to be my wife, Cindy, and coordinate some efforts. So as we're collecting food along the way, we can try to get some, soap collections for you too, so that it just continues to grow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on today. Before we sign off, let people know where they can find you, about your website, your social, etc.
Okay, so our website is eachstitchcounts.org. You'll find us on Instagram under the same name, Each Stitch Counts. We have a Facebook page, and also if you go to our website, be sure to join the Facebook group. It's a closed group,
Sure.
So that you can see what's going on. And we have a newsletter. You can sign up for our newsletter on the website, and that gives you more detailed information. I try to do them monthly, but I don't always succeed. But that's the plan.
Too bad you can't knit them, right?
Yeah. That's great. I love what you're doing, and keep doing great things, and I want to help you get to 5,000 this year.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again for coming in today.
My pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank
So
you so much.
nice.